Back, man, to IMDb live at New York Comic Con. Put your hands together so they know you're real at home still. Ladies and gentlemen, there are very few people in this world that I look to as the guideposts of the folks that went before me and taught me how to become eventually who I was. If you listen, I just did an episode of Smodcast about this recently. If you listen to the lyrics of some of your favorite artists, they will leave you a roadmap to tell you how to live the rest of your life if you want to be happy or if you want to be creative or something like that. When I was a kid, there was a lyric of a song that stuck in my head, and I still listen to that song today because it was true. There were words in it that were so true, helped me shape who I became. And the words were this: the things I do make me a star, and you could be too if you know who you are. Just put your mind to it, you'll go real far, like you're pedal to the metal when you're driving a car. There's variations to that last lyric as well. Those lyrics taught me everything I needed to know in life. Be yourself, and hopefully that'll work out. Like, don't try to sell something you're not. Be yourself. I learned that lesson from the King of Rock, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the mighty DMC.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Darryl McDaniels has DMC Comics. This is volume 3.
Yeah, number 3, issue number 3. Darryl makes comics. They asked me what would I call my comic book company, and the DMC always comes in handy. It's actually the initials of my name, but I can make it stand for anything that is powerful and positive.
Devastating my controller.
Exactly. Doing mine's cool. D's for doing it all of the time. M's for the rhymes that are on mine. C's for cool. Cool as can be, and I wore my glasses so I can see.
Oh my God. I'm so hard right now. Let's take a journey. We've talked on my show Comic Book Men.
Yes.
But I want to cover some of that here because some people might make the leap between Run DMC and comics.
Right.
But you go way back with comic books.
Yes. Before hip hop came over the bridge from the Bronx in the late 70s to totally change my life. Before 1970s rock radio. I mean, the 70s rock is amazing. It's all I listen to. But before music came into my life, I was a little kid living in Hollis, Queens, New York. I went to Catholic school. I wore glasses. I was a straight A student, though, always on an honor roll, 5 and 6 stars on the forehead. But I read comic books. So I was this nerdy little kid that just read, collected, and drew all day. That's all that I did. So I never wanted to be in show business at all, but it was comic books, the foundation that prepared me to do what I did when I got on the microphone.
How so?
Well, Marvel comic books, which was big to me because Marvel, Stan Lee was brilliant. He had the superheroes in New York.
Yeah.
But as a kid growing up, life was a little traumatic for me. So Marvel comic books, through those great comic books and those great characters and all those great issues that I collected, taught me something about life. It taught me in life, you define yourself with an adjective and then you tell the world who you are. For instance, if I say the amazing, you will say
Spider-Man.
If I say incredible, you will say
Hulk.
And if I say invincible, you'll say
Iron Man.
So when hip hop comes over the bridge, I was like, oh shoot, you could tell stories about who you are over music. So I started writing rhymes for me. Now, Darryl McDaniels is my name. The initials of my name is DMC. But when I get on the microphone, I'm no longer mild-mannered Darryl McDaniels. When I step on the microphone, DMC now becomes the devastating mic controller. Or I hear a certain beat and I say, on this beat, I'll become the microphone master. Or on this beat, I'll be the devastating mic controller DMC. So my whole career, all I was pretending to be was the most powerful entity in the hip hop universe, and that was all because of comics. So it gave me something that people consider as corny and pretend because it's make-believe. But look at those words, make-believe, make-believe, make-believe. Make the world believe and it shall come into existence. So my whole persona, my whole presentation, the way I look, the way I sound was all because of comic books. And the inspiration, the creativity, and the education that I got out of reading comic books allowed me to be a good student in school and it allowed me to be prepared when it was time for me to get on a microphone. So I owe my life to Marvel comic books.
I just love you so much. You're not lying about loving books, man.
No, no.
I was recently rewatching, for the zillionth time, one of my favorite movies in the world is Crush Groove.
Oh, Crush Groove.
And in the offices of Crush Groove, the record company in the movie,
yes,
right on the door is an old school Spider-Man poster.
Yep, exactly.
And I remember I was watching the movie recently going, they're ahead of everybody. And I remember being a kid, seeing that poster in the movie and being like, oh, they know comics too. Secret language. But now it's not so secret. Everybody embraces it.
Well, I've always dropped Easter eggs in my music. On the King of Rock, and by the way, the whole King of Rock thing came about because I was sitting there one day and I was thinking about Thor. And I was like, okay, Thor is the son of Odin from Asgard. His father's Odin. He got a brother named Loki, and he got a hammer. And I was like, okay, I'm Darryl. I'm from Hollis. My father name is Byford. I got a brother named Alfred, and I got a Mike. So I said, I am going to become son of Byford, brother of Al. Banner's my mother and runs my pal. It's McDaniels, not McDonald's. These rhymes are Darryl's, those burgers are
Ronald's.
I ran down my family tree, my mother, my father, my brother, and me. So I wanted to become the king of rock. There is none higher. Sucker MCs should call me sire. To burn my kingdom, you must choose fire, and I won't stop rocking till I retire. So everything that I was in this universe, I was creatively using my imagination to become in that universe, which actually manifests itself in this universe. Like when I walk the world now, people don't just say, hey, there's DMC the rapper. They go, the king is here. Or they go, there's the microphone master. And I say to myself, Kev, I laugh. I go, oh my God, I was just playing. I wasn't even trying to be real. But that was the power of the positivity and the presentation of things that we believe. And even more so, the comic book superheroes, everybody, you know, you took a garbage can lid and said, I'm Captain America. You took a real hammer out your father's toolbox and said, I'm Thor. We did all that stuff.
No kid would play with you if you were that kid, man.
Yeah, I might hit you with the hammer for real. Like, oh, I'm sorry. You take your favorite blanket and you put it around your neck and pretend to be Batman and Superman. Well, when hip-hop first came over the bridge, even though I was writing rhymes and saying I'm the DMC and I'm going to be the king and all of that, I still didn't see myself as that. Grandmaster Flash did that. Curtis Blow did that. I don't do that. I was pretending to be them the same way I was pretending to be my favorite superheroes, because the break dancers, the graffiti writers, the DJs and the MCs, they were like our real-life superheroes. When we saw graffiti, it was like, oh, shoot. The comic book art then jumped off the page, and then now it's on a wall, and now it's on a train. So that was the connection of hip-hop and comic books. Everybody in this room is a product of pop culture. You know, my whole existence beside the comic books was I Dream of Jeannie, the Addams Family, the Jetsons, Fred Flintstones, Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. All of those shows, everything that I was visually and musically, everything that was in the newspaper, from Dick Tracy to all Dennis the Menace, Charlie Brown, all of that was a part of me. So what happened to me, I'm building up all of this energy and this power. I needed a release to show the world that it was inside me. If I never had comic books, Kevin, I would have never got on a mic with Run. It gave me confidence.
That's what's crazy about that is it gave you confidence. It created the person. You created the person you wanted to be. There's a phrase they say, fake it until you can make it. So you're like, I'm going to perceive myself as this. Listening to that music, like I know it wasn't, you guys weren't recording it for me. You were recording it for yourselves to sing your song. But that music inspired me to sing my song. The same way you were like, oh, I could sing about who I am and where I'm from, and these are my friends. That influenced my work. I can't rap and I can't sing.
Right,
Everything I've ever done was about, this is where I'm from, this is who I am, and these are the people I know.
Right.
It's so right how declarative rap was.
And that's a powerful thing, because like even when, you know, as a little kid, I wore glasses. So before I rapped about my glasses and that made me cool, You know, I was Four Eyes. I was Binoculars. I was Spectacles. I would always, hey, Four Eyes, come here, huh? Hit me upside the head. Did you see that? So life was miserable. But hip hop and art, creativity, imagination gave me the power to rhyme about my glasses, and all of a sudden now, people that don't even wear glasses want to wear glasses now. So it was a thing that where what you think is, what the world perceives as corny and weak and weird and not regular is actually the special power that every person in this universe, we all have that. I tell people, you know, if you like the Powerpuff Girls, if you like Star Wars, if you like DC, if you like Marvel, if you like Transformers, Flintstone, Mickey Mouse, whatever it is that you like, those things weren't created for you. They were created because of you. Because you exist, these things are in the world. That's why you connect to those things. I remember my favorite Marvel comic books was the Hulk, because I liked the Hulk because, you know, the whole battle of the Hulk, puny Bruce Banner, and then Bruce Banner not wanting to have this Hulk. That was like a battle that you have, the fights in the human world that we have by ourselves. But Captain America always captivated me. It was my favorite book to read. And I remember growing up and my older brother telling me, Darryl, as much as you want it, you will never have blonde hair. As a little kid, I wanted blonde hair like Steve Rogers. And when I saw and read Steve Rogers, I didn't see a white superhero. I didn't see a white man. I saw a superhero named Captain America named Steve Rogers. So with hip hop, I think the thing that was special about Run DMC, when you saw me running Jay, you didn't see celebrity. You saw yourself. I don't care if you was in the dirt poor ghetto of Compton or you was a kid growing up in Beverly Hills. The things we talked about, the records that we made, the ideas, concepts, and images that we put on those songs, everybody was able to relate to. You know, everybody was like, I like that guy Run, man. He has an attitude. He's like my brother that don't shut up. And I like that guy Jay, man. That guy Jay's cool. But everybody would go, but what's up with the quiet guy with the glasses? But I was always in my music putting out the things that I was about. Look, I never went to jail, and I don't want to go to jail because I like my freedom. I was never in a gang. I never sold drugs. You know what I'm saying? I don't rhyme about guns and violence because I don't want to get shot because it hurts. Right. So, no, I'm keeping it real. And kids laughed. They never said, wow, that's real funny. But Wycliffe had said, yo, DMC is one of the only MCs that could talk about a pair of sneakers, St. John's University, chicken and collard greens, and he even made a record about Christmas and we made it gangster. See, we made positivity powerful, and that was the thing that I got from those comic books that I read.
God damn, you will never hear more truth spit anywhere else than you just heard today, man. The New York Comic Con, ladies and gentlemen, is a place where everywhere you can look, you can see drawn heroes, but you won't see another superhero sitting in front of you like you're seeing right now. Give it up for Darryl McDaniels.
Thank you, man.
DMC Comics #3 is available right now. Stick around for more coverage from IMDb at New York Comic Con 2017. We'll be back in a second. Give it up for DMC!